I know better. Locked in my head, romanticizing forever. Last love I found, knees met the ground and all my roses died. Swore I was through, but looking at you, I think I changed my mind. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it. Diving at first and all of it. Oh, what a rush, looking into your eyes, playing it off like it's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it. One look and I'm dying to run the risk. I'll live in your head for the rest of your life. Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? My God, don't we look good together? I should be running away, but so what, whatever. Oh, last love I found, knees met the ground and all my roses died. Swore I was through, but looking at you, I think I changed my mind. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it. Diving at first and all of it. Oh, what a rush, looking into your eyes, playing it off like it's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it. One look and I'm dying to run the risk. I'll live in your head for the rest of your life. Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? You're a bad idea. Oh, but every time I see you, all reason and logic cut their losses. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it. Diving at first and all of it. Oh, what a rush, looking into your eyes, playing it off like it's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it. One look and I'm dying to run the risk. I'll live in your head for the rest of your life. Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine?
a finish. It could not be closer.
It's absolutely insane.
2 seconds within value in Alpha Plus.
Phenomenal win here.
What a thrilling finish.
3, 2, 1.
are they going to have enough momentum to just get round? What a mark grounding.
10.52s on this spreader leg is insane.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Sardinia. Welcome to the Yacht Club Costa Smeralda, one of the most renowned and fantastic yacht clubs in the world. The 52 Super Series is back here. It's been a number of years since we've raced here. A great week in prospect. We have Mistral conditions at least some of the days. At the top of the table for the circuit standings, American Magic Quantum Racing have a big lead. Sled in second, but the battle for third and fourth places is down to 2.5 points at the moment between the Italians on Alcedo and the French on Paprec. So that's going to be one of the battles to watch over the course of the regatta. We caught up with Matteo De Luca, who's the bowman and the project manager for Alcedo. So Matteo, how does it feel to be here and in contention for the podium overall?
It is it's a very high level pressure on us because it's our first season and we are very, very glad to be in the third position in the series. It's a dream comes true, but we have to be calm and relaxed. We know how to sail well, we don't have to be stressed.
How many cappuccinos in the morning then?
Personally, just espresso. Try to don't have too many, but
Two.
Yeah, 3 actually, but it's gonna be beautiful fun day in the water. Like the Mistral will come and you already smell the air is more dry and it's gonna be windy and wet.
Is that how you like it?
It is, actually, it is. I'm living in this area, I love this place.
All right, you live here or?
Yeah, I live in Palau, just further north, and I really fall in love for this place. But like pretty much everyone in the dock in here, we all love this place.
Special pressure being Italian, of course, on this fantastic venue.
It's very good because we face a lot of fans every day. Walking the dock comes to us. I produce a lot of t-shirt, gadget and hat to give to the people, and they are very, very proud to dress our colors, which is makes a good feeling.
So in practical terms, what do you have to do here? Are you watching Paprec or you sail your own regatta?
No, the strategy, we are 13 boats. We are the bigger fleet of the season since many years probably, so there are a lot of points in the water. Probably as we said, in this class you can win or lose last downwind of last race. So it's in the beginning just sailing well, do the best we can.
As a team, do you enjoy the pressure? Do you perform better under pressure?
Yes, we are very emotional as Italians, so we like to be under pressure.
Tell me about the mix of cultures then and how that's evolved over the season.
It's evolved very, very in a smooth way, like in a natural way. Let me say, it's good. We know each other since many years, but we have like a British coach, which is pretty serious, and then we have the loud Italians, some Spanish, Portuguese. We have the boat builder from South Africa. We have the sailmakers from Hungary. We're pretty mixed up very, very well.
So have you taken on any particular American traits or culture?
No, like we have the chef, the Italian chef, I think is the key point.
Great stuff. And just tell us, what are we expecting for wind and weather over the week?
Over the week we are expecting this westerly coming in strong. Today very, very sailable condition. Tomorrow they could be a little bit stronger, maybe sailable in the morning, maybe too much in the afternoon, but they will stay westerly again for Friday, maybe lighter for Saturday. I'm very looking forward of the closing party on Saturday night.
So it's the Espressos which are powering Alcedo this morning as they go onto the water. From Paprec we caught up with Stefan Navy, who's a little bit more laid back, a little bit more cappuccino. So Stefan, how do you feel about this week? It's all about closing out third place on the circuit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talk about this morning with the crew. I mean, it's been a fantastic season for our team. Now we know that we can even get a higher target than what expected at the beginning of the year. So we're going to do our best and sail properly the whole week just to achieve this goal.
You like it here in particular? Windy week, hopefully?
I mean, from what we have seen in Qashqai, we look easier in strong wind. So if the conditions are about the same, that should be helpful for our team.
Italy versus France.
it looks like we're going to have a good fight with Siltilar, for sure.
But you're good friends off the water.
Yeah. I mean, we are friends with all the teams, but the competition is another game.
So for American Magic, it's all about keeping it simple, following the processes, reducing the risk as much as possible, as Greg Gandel tells us. Tell us, what's the objectives this week? You've got a relatively straightforward task ahead of you, would think. Big points lead.
Yeah, we have a decent lead for the season. No lead safe, of course, but we're going to keep it simple. Got a decent forecast for quantum racing sailing, which is low risk, and managing the stuff inside the lifelines, as we say. So, and Doug's with us, which is awesome. So we're hoping to close out the season with a good regatta.
Is that an extra challenge with Doug? Obviously, he's not sailed 3 regattas.
Well, he's been sailing all summer in the Great Lakes, and he's a great sailor. And he's every time he's with us, everybody raises our level a little bit. So we're happy to have him. It's awesome.
So indeed, looking out onto the waters off Porto Cervo on this beautiful Costa Smeralda, it is of course very much autumn here. We're expecting some mistral conditions, certainly today and tomorrow, possibly very breezy tomorrow afternoon, but we really have got a great fleet here for the 52 Super Series Porto Cervo Range Rover Regatta. It's the 5th and final regatta of the season. It's the first time we've been here since 2019 when Azura closed out the title and Sled ran away with the regatta win that time. We have 13 boats racing from 10 different nations. We're welcoming back Phoenix from South Africa. It's a venue that every team, every sailor really knows and loves. They've been coming here for many, many years. Indeed, many sailors in this circuit were racing here a week ago at the Maxi Yacht Rolex Cup, and we saw a real range of conditions from too light to sail to too strong to sail, so we're going to expect something quite similar this week, but anything really can happen here. We can see really strong winds. We have this battle before third step on the podium between Alcedo from Italy and Paprec from France. There's only 2.5 points separating them. They've had a real kind of mixed bag of results. Alcedo have been a little bit more consistent, going 7-3-5-4 from the regattas. Paprec 5-5, and then that second in Cascais at the Rolex TP52 World Championship, when they missed the world title by a single point, then a 9th for them in Puerto Portals last month. So that's one of the battles to watch. But then look at the circuit standings after 4 of 5 regattas, and it's a 41-point lead for American Magic, which really have been the dominant team this season, winning all regattas except the first regatta in Saint-Tropez. So really champions-elect, you might say, with that 41-point lead. Sled are pretty solid in second, looking to finish on the podium once again. They've had a really consistent season. They're 172 points, so 25 points clear of Alcedo Vitamina, who I say at this battle between Italy and France, only 2.5 points. But then there's all these little possibilities. Platoon Aviation have a really bumpy mixed season, getting much better in Puerto Portals. They do always start slowly for their seasons and finish strong, so I have them as a potential regatta winner here, but there's every chance they could catch up to fourth, possibly even an outside chance of third. Otherwise, it's a real mix of agendas, as it were, through the fleet from Alpha Plus, who have finished on the podium then in Puerto Portals. Value, Allegra in contention as the top owner driver. Pravetza made some changes here, then Gladiator, Phoenix, Criolla and Teasing Machine. So lots of different team agendas this regatta. But Katie Dabson on the water, a great atmosphere on the dock this morning, wasn't there?
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone's really excited to get going in some kind of slightly breezier conditions, and I know that everyone I speak to absolutely loves this venue. They come here quite a lot with various different circuits, and it's my first time here, and I'm already in love with the place. It's a really cool place, and I would really love to do sailing here myself. And everyone's, I think, really excited to kind of get going and get out there and see what they can do.
What are you loving about it so far?
I mean, it's one of the most beautiful places I've been to, actually. Like the scenery and kind of the vibe of the place, it's all super nice. There's so much greenery around. I just really love it. It's really cool. It's got a good feeling about it.
Indeed, Katie, and of course you're training just down the coast in Cagliari for the upcoming World Championships for the 49er FX and the Anacras. So we're very lucky to have you this week.
Yeah, I've been down there kind of the week leading up to this, and I'll be heading straight back down there after this. I've not actually been up to this part of Sardinia before, so actually this is the first time for me. But I really love the island, and the sailing down in Cagliari is amazing, and it seems to be more of the same up here, just really amazing sailing.
You're obviously close to the Gladiator team. What's the mood in the camp there, and what are they talking about today? Say it's a special place for Gigi Parada and for Bruno as well, the navigator. Bruno Zerilli, who clinched the circuit title here in Azura in 2019. So do we think they can repeat that kind of level of performance here?
Yeah, honestly, the mood has been really good the last couple of days. I kind of went out on the water with them a couple of days ago on the chase boat to watch some of their practice racing and their training, and the mood has been really good. The other day in one of the debriefs, Tony was kind of saying that like the team feels again like the standard Gladiator team. The vibe's really good. The mood's really good. Everyone's really kind of pushing and really positive. Yeah, everyone's feeling really positive, and the training before the event was going really well, and they're kind of I think they're starting to get back to what the Gladiator we kind of knew from last season. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about this event for them. I think they're on the right track, and the mood is really good.
Good. Well, that's Gladiator. Let's have a quick look at Phoenix. Now, Phoenix only have done 2 regattas this season in Bayona and in Cascais. Finished 4th in Cascais, but they really have got a dream team at the back of the boat. Tony Norris on the stick steering the boat, but we've got Tom Slingsby back as tactician, sailing for the first time with Will Ryan in the TP52s, Shane Elliott, the dependable super navigator, but also Kyle Langford coming on board as a main trimmer, Rodney, it should be Daniel in the runners, Morgan Trubovic, Lorenzo Mazza, the trimming pair, just super talented, super experienced pair, Guy Andine and Luke Payne as grinders, Matt Whitehead in the pit, Willie Beavis and Juanpa Marcos, a fantastic team. Every possibility of finishing on the podium, but Tom was saying yesterday he hasn't sailed a non-foiling boat since 2022 when he last sailed on the Phoenix. So, Katie, how's it looking for this start? We're just coming into the first start. We've got a minute to go.
Yeah, it's looking good. There was a bit of rain when we came out, so the wind was kind of a bit unsettled, but it's settling down now. It's been slowly tracking to the left since we've been out here. I'd expect it to go a bit more right, but it looks like the majority of the boats on this start line are kind of favouring the middle to the committee boat. There's quite an even spread. You've got Alcedo down at the bottom as well as Platoon and Paprec, and then kind of a bit more of a bunch towards the middle committee boat end with Vayu and Phoenix and Gladiator up at that boat end. But yeah, relatively even spread. So I think people are expecting it to be maybe potentially a bit more of an open race course.
An open race course indeed. Alcedo lining up towards the pin end of the line, going time and distance. Gladiator looking a little bit flat-footed for the moment with 7 seconds to go. Platoon Aviation nicely getting close to the line, but Paprec, I think, if they're okay, should be bang on the gun. If we have a clear start, good start from Platoon Aviation, excellent start from Paprec. Tidy start at the committee boat end of the line from Phoenix, straight off and running. We can see the bows of Sled a little bit slow off the line. So too untidy for Teasing Machine. Regatta just we're seeing through between Paprec and Platoon. So a little bit of an untidy start, really, Katie. But Gladiator coming out of that, oh sorry, it was Teasing Machine that were slow off the line. Gladiator punching out to the right early on.
Yeah, I think potentially just those kind of first start nerves. You kind of see it quite often in regattas. The first start, everyone's a bit jittery, kind of eager to get going. But yeah, I've really kind of even spread across the line. Some starts were better than others. Paprec looked like they had a pretty good start. They've definitely punched out. And yeah, as you say, you've got a couple of boats that are tacking out, opting for that right-hand side. So yeah, big kind of split in the strategies of the boats out here.
Indeed, American Magic starting relatively conservatively. Obviously, as we said, as we saw, Doug DeVos is back steering of the American Magic, his first start in the 52 Super Series fleet since the first regatta of the season in Saint-Tropez. Really, really liking the start from Paprec. Absolutely on the B of Bang. Platoon Aviation moving nicely as well. And straight away, Paprec and Alcedo lining up alongside each other. Now, interesting, our early leaders, Katie, are Phoenix out on that right side.
Yeah, it's a really interesting racecourse out here right now, actually, I think, because if you look at the geography of the course, there is a lot more land on the left-hand side, so you'd be expecting kind of the top left-hand side of the course there to be a bit of a wind bend coming into the top mark, so you'd get a bit of an advantage going out to the left-hand side. But the numbers are a little bit more left than the forecasts were saying. I think that rain cloud as we were coming out had a bit of an impact on that. The numbers are a bit more left, and they've been slowly tracking left a little bit before the start. So kind of you've got to weigh up whether you think those numbers are going to come back right during this race, or whether you think the advantage you're going to get from the land feature on the course is going to be more of a gain. But it looks like everyone's kind of liking the look of this right hand side. I think potentially they've got a shift to tack back on, because the whole fleet is now heading out towards that right hand side on port.
Indeed, American Magic having had to take a few turns to get a clear lane, but no panic on board. Alcedo out to this left side as well. So there we go, Terry Hutchison with the helmsman Doug DeVos, just assimilating their position for the moment. Just trying to get into the groove now. As race fans will possibly know, we ended up with no actual practice race yesterday. We had a couple of starts as was planned, but the breeze then disappeared to such an extent that we ended up with no practice race. So although Doug DeVos has been doing quite a lot of sailing at home on the Great Lakes, it's a baptism of fire coming back into this fleet, as it always is for Doug. In the meantime, Phoenix jumping out in front. So Katie, it may be a big change from high-speed foiling, but Phoenix making a statement straight from the start gun.
Yeah, very much so. And actually, I think that is an advantage that those guys can kind of bring to the team, is that the decision making and all of that is essentially pretty similar, but whether you're foiling or not foiling. But it's slowed down quite a lot on these boats, because you have more time to make the decisions. And I think actually that is an advantage, because if you're used to making those fast decisions and you're used to having to think quickly and really be on your toes, you're then given the opportunity to slow it down and put more thought into it. And actually I think, yeah, that can really become an advantage. So, and that's showing now by the execution of that start at the boat end. Clearly they wanted to do that. Yeah, solid execution of a start, and then being able to make that first decision not dictated to by other boats around them.
And for all that, you know, we talk about Tom Slingsby, and indeed Will to a certain extent from the world of foiling. This This is where they learned their trade, as it were. Tom was, of course, a laser world champion and Olympic gold medalist. And he still loves the boat-for-boat tactical sailing, as indeed does Will, who, of course, has moved from Allegre in line with the Aussie Sail GP lineup. But Gladiator going well as well,
Yeah, and
Katie.
both of those guys coming from...
Go on.
Yeah, they're going really well actually on the right-hand side. I think this is really playing to their strengths a bit. They've kind of gone for their standard start, which they like doing, which is coming in late at the boat, tacking out early, and giving themselves a clear lane to go as fast as they can, and that really worked well for them last season. And they know that they've got the speed to be able to kind of be at the top of the fleet as long as they go the right way with it. And I think currently, looking at the tracking and looking at where everyone is on the water, I think this is looking, it could play into their hands pretty well. They've just got to watch for Phoenix, because they had a better start than them and were able to go off the line a bit quicker. So it's just whether those extra kind of 5-10 seconds of a head start that Phoenix got by being on the line, whether that's going to be the decider on who comes out in front.
Indeed, Platoon Aviation nicely in the mix, as indeed our Paprec. So Provezza have also made some changes to their crew lineup. They have Cola Parada has actually moved forward in the boat, as it were, taking over as a tactician, with Santi Lange, the multiple Olympic medal, 3 Olympic medals, and of course, he won the 52 Super Series title here with Azzurra back in 2019. So he's back on the race boat as a strategist, working with Collier, who of course he knows really well. Collier was his Olympic coach, and they're actually a past crew for Santi way back in the mists of time. But seems like the breeze is just building quite nicely, and if anything, just seeming to head slightly for these boats we're seeing just now, just as you predicted, Katie.
Yeah, I think the forecast is for it to build maybe to around 16, 17 knots, potentially even more with the Mistral. So this is kind of probably the lightest we're going to see it all day. The wind has gone a little bit further left now. It's at around 245, which is why all of those boats tacked onto port, I think. But as you say, it is starting to come back a little bit right, which works in the favour of Phoenix and Gladiator. I think American Magic have got a little bit to do out on this left-hand side, looking upwind. They kind of got themselves into a position where they were pinned out and they had to wait for an opportunity to tack back. And I think if the wind keeps tracking right, as kind of I would expect it to do, then I think they're going to have a little bit to do. But we know what kind of team American Magic are, and they chip away, and they are. I would not be surprised if by the end of this race, regardless of where they round at the Windward mark, if they're well back in it, just because of how good at racers they are and how quick they are.
Indeed. No time to panic, obviously, but it's nice to see the breeze building progressively. That lead for Phoenix over Gladiator and Paprec has shrunk very slightly, but we're looking forward to the breeze building, and it's just watching to see how this evolves. Anyway, a few other little changes through the fleet. As we said, Allegre have lost Will Ryan and have gained Pietro Sabello, who is of course a 49er Olympian for Italy, former coach to Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, and was with Alinghi as well, I think. But a hugely experienced sailor, not least here. But for sure then, Katie, Paprec making an early statement with regard to their tussle with the other blue boat, or the other blue and black boat just behind there with the Setelar logo on the sails. Alcedo Vitamina. Hatwreck coming back nicely on port there. Closing with Phoenix, but Phoenix will cross. And on board with Platoon Aviation. Again, a team who have built a lot more confidence the back end of the last regatta, but I think they come here with many of the a good few of the sailors on board, like Vasco, having just won the Maxi Grand Prix world title here, and this is a stretch of water, an area that Vasco knows really well. So I think we should see Platoon Aviation at their best here. It's not about how you start the regatta, it's about how you finish, Katie, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. It's kind of they say that you can't win the regatta in the first race, but you can very much lose it. And I think it's not going to be about doing anything too crazy. It's about setting a good foundation that you can then build on for the rest of the week, and making sure that you're kind of you're very much in it and playing the longer game at this point.
Indeed. And I think there's a certain hunger in the Phoenix team. It's no secret that they're taking a sabbatical next season. Plan to be back in 2027, bigger, stronger, and more competitive than ever. But this will be the last regatta in the meantime for the Phoenix team. A little bit of a swan song, but it's a big week for the team, who of course won the last regatta of 2023 in Puerto Portals. And that was an amazing regatta in itself. But looking back to 2019, we had a pretty windy week when Sled absolutely dominated. I think they're the only team to have won 5 races in a row. Found a different setting then. Changed their setting, were super fast, but I don't see any team dominating this week. American Magic just now very much finding the groove for the moment. But Phoenix have always been a fast team, the fast boat, very well optimized, meticulously prepared. But they have a great particular team spirit. They really don't take themselves too seriously. Super high top quality professionals, of course, but they like to have a quick bonding session after racing, shall we say. Now then, back on board Alegre. So let's have a look at the lineup on the Alegre now. See they've some small changes in the team lineup in this last regatta of the season. Andy Soriano, the owner-driver, bidding to become the top owner-driver this season. Paul Goodison, as a tactician, joined in the last regatta. Strategist now is Pietro Sabello. Francesco Mongelli is a long-standing navigator. Pablo Ararte has moved in the runners. Chris Cowan joins this regatta as floater. Elliot Willis is the main trimmer. Pierluigi De Felici and Andy Hemmings are the trimming pair. Sebastian Ten Hag, the grinder, is the project manager, along with his other grinders, Michele Gnuti, Jonathan Taylor in the pit, Joe Cox in the mid-bow, and Mamu Caputo, the bowman. Great lineup, and can they finish their season with a podium? Again, a team that's done well here in the past in multiple different classes. I can remember Soriano winning the Maxi Worlds. So we're at the top mark. Katie, tell us about the approach.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few boats coming in actually on the port ley line. Yeah, you've got a big stack of boats coming in really late here. Paprec and Phoenix looks to be doing really well. Paprec, yeah, made a really good job of that upwind. I think tacked really well on some shifts and looked like they could be about to kind of round in first place in front of Phoenix, which kind of midway through the upwind you wouldn't have probably predicted. But yeah, it's looking really good for Paprec and Phoenix at the moment, both of them out in front, and then Platoon has just managed to get on the inside of Gladiator by coming in on that left-hand side. So yeah, it's top left-hand side of this beat. It seemed really strong to me, which you would kind of expect it to be with the land kind of how it is on this race course. But yeah, Paprec round in first, really, really closely followed by Phoenix. It's kind of it's going to be an interesting hoist to see how they manage it. Paprec are going to have to really defend against Phoenix, and it's going to be whoever can kind of get the kite up first and get up to full speed, because Paprec are really at danger of being rolled here. But yeah, Paprec, Phoenix, Platoon, and then Gladiator are your top four, but all of the boats super close together.
Teasing Machine have actually done quite a nice job considering the start. El Gado just coming round the mark in 6th, along with Sled, then Allegra, then Vayu, I think. Then it's Alpha Plus. American Magic, I think, will get round in 11th. Then it will be 12th, looks like it will be Provezza, and Criolla a distant 13th, unfortunately, didn't get off the line, but great set at the windward mark, at the offset mark. Paprec versus Phoenix. Paprec actually sailing lower and faster set, slightly better setup for the meantime. Phoenix trying to sail higher, pick up a little bit more wave perhaps, but absolutely head to head. Good work from Platoon Aviation coming round that top mark. Came in a little bit late on port, still pushing the envelope, as it were. Seeing the boats which are now jibe setting, one of them being Vayu. American Magic then with some work to do, but we've got breeze, we've got a good first downwind. Lots of options on this downwind. Katie, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's, yeah, lots of options proven by the fact that 3 of the boats kind of jibe set around that top mark, one of which being Gladiator, who was up there in 4th position. I think if you're kind of near the front of the fleet and it's, yeah, you're not going to jibe out unless you think there is options and gains to be had on this race course. But yeah, the top 3 boats kind of heading out to the right, as you said, really nice mode found by Paprec out of that windward mark. Both teams had both Paprec and Phoenix had really good hoists, but I think it was very smart of them both to kind of not engage with each other in a battle and pushing each other higher and higher. I think that was smart of them, yeah, to not be fighting each other and be more mindful of bigger picture and the boats that are close behind them, because it's super close racing and you can't be battling between 2 of you and let 3 boats past you. But you've got, yeah, a bit of a split now actually between Paprec and Phoenix. Phoenix have let Paprec jibe back out, so Paprec's now on port, and Phoenix is carrying on a little bit further on starboard into this corner, probably hoping to find something to be able to get a jump on Paprec at the bottom.
They look pretty relaxed on Phoenix. I mean, Tom Slingsby is just the coolest guy in the water, isn't he? He's just taking in the picture, as it were, the big picture, what's happening with the breeze coming in. They seem to be happy on this right side for the meantime. Vasco and the boys on Platoon Aviation are tracking Paprec down this run. But I think Phoenix have got a nice lane, a nice band of pressure moving nicely down this first run. But it's so important, Katie, to start with a good race, not just in terms of points and looking at the regatta, but from a crew morale point of view. It's about putting everything that's gone behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this first race is really crucial for actually all of the teams. I think it can really set the standard for the rest of the week. If you come out onto the race course, bring in your A game and kind of have a good first race, it sets the precedent for the rest of the week, and it sets the expectation, because you have a good first one and you're like, oh, well, this is where we should be, this event, this is yeah, we're where we should be, we're going fast, it's going well, and that can often kind of carry on to the rest of the week, yeah, and kind of sets the precedent almost. So
indeed, just watching Paprec now with the Loic Perron, just a bundle of energy. He's like a little wasp flying around the back of the boat, just keeping his eyes on the pressure on both sides of the race course, watching all the time. Just get some input from the other crew members who are so experienced, but doesn't sail with a strategist per se. They're a pro driver team. They're Cedric Chateau. Just been racing class 40s in Saint Malo, I think. And great to have the owner on board, Jean-Luc Petit-Huguenin. Statement of intent, you might say, from the French. They're super excited, really up for the battle with the Italians, who likewise, both these teams ahead of their hopes and expectations back in Saint-Tropez. Both of them would have settled for the top 5 at the end of the season. So here we are on board with the Alcedo Vitamina. We change on board there. We see Nevin Snow, the new strategist. Alvaro Marinho, the normal strategist on Vitamina, is on duty at the 6 meter Worlds in America. So Nevin Snow is sailing. Another 49er sailor, Katie. Very popular in this fleet.
yeah, clearly. Yeah, I've seen Nevin around actually at a few of the events. I saw him around last year at the events, and I saw him out at the Super Series last year. So we've kind of, yeah, I've definitely seen him around. I could probably pick his brains a lot more about 49ers than I have been doing. But yeah, I think 49ers
there's time enough this week,
is super transferable to this. Yeah, we'll have plenty.
Yeah, just give us a little bit more of that then. Why are 49er sailors in particular sought after in this fleet?
I think they're used to the decision-making aspect of it, kind of like the faster decision-making on the faster end of the slow boats decision-making, and I think a lot of the decision-making is very comparable.
And
I
the
think,
angles
as well, kind of the teamwork. Yeah, for sure. The teamwork aspect of it. It's super comparable, and also 49er sailors are just cool people, so they're just great to have around, is what I hear.
present company included.
Obviously.
Anyway, I think the funny thing is I'm almost sure, Katie, you could put Loic Perron in a 49er and within a season he'd be near the front of the fleet, even at the age of 64. He's an enigma. But things going quite well just now for Platoon Aviation. They've taken that same downwind line as Paprec. Jordi Calafat at the back of the boat, working the main traveller. They are closing up to Paprec. Phoenix have lost out a little bit, Katie, haven't they, down this right side?
Yeah, I think they held on for a little bit too long. There was a little period in the middle where they were kind of hitting kind of 13 knots of boat speeds, and I thought that might actually kind of be the push they needed to make the jump. But yeah, I think they maybe just held out a little bit too long, and Paprec thinking more in terms of fleet management, potentially leading, tactically leading the fleet back across is a really strong play tactically. So I think, yeah, they were kind of thinking fleet management, whereas Phoenix potentially looking to find a little bit of more pressure to come back across in. So two different strategies for this downwind, but it looks like it's paid off for Paprec and also Platoon, who have, by the looks of it, made the jump on Phoenix.
So heading down to this leeward gate. Race number 1, 52 Super Series Porto Cervo by Range Rover. Regatta, Paprec and Platoon are going to be close round this mark. The German flag team putting the pressure on the French. The French can feel the hot breath on their backs as the Germans try and take the wind out of their sails as they approach this leeward turn. French staying cool, calm and collected. Phoenix have jibed into the lineup, coming downwind. Lost a little bit on that run. Now then, it's going to be interesting in terms of the mark choices at this leeward gate. Katie, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'd be... The right-hand side coming downwind clearly didn't pay, so I'd be taking that into account. It looks like potentially there is a little bit more breeze out on that side, just looking at the numbers coming down. But yeah, I'd be looking at kind of the numbers where the wind, or the angle of the wind would be what I would be using as a deciding factor on this one.
Indeed, but Paprec leading round the leeward gate, going to the right-hand mark, looking upwind. Platoon Aviation on the left, actually coming out with quite a nice high angle, I think, on starboard by the looks of things, pursued by Phoenix. And it's going to be still, I think, Gladiator coming in next, a little bit slowed in the approach to the mark. Maybe lose Sled going to the left mark, actually going round at the same time as Gladiator. Allegra in 6th on the left-hand mark. Value in, I think we'll say 7th. Indeed, that's the case. Prevets have made a nice little gain, getting up to 8th. Alcedo in 9th. Sorry, Alcedo in 10th. Teasing Machine, Alpha Plus, American Magic in 12th and 13th, I think, still Criolla, but Criolla far from out of it, but great racing, really nothing in it. Opportunities all the way up this second beat. Criolla electing to tack at that left-hand mark. So So very much a case of keep chipping away. Let's see how this beat plays out. We've seen that split at the leeward gate between Paprec and Platoon. Likewise Phoenix. Platoon and Phoenix going left up this first part of the beat. Katie, we felt maybe a little bit more pressure on the left going upwind. Or is it coming in? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was just looking at the numbers of Allegre. He was coming back, coming from that side, and they kind of were, 13, 14 knots of boat speed. They were potentially coming in a bit higher to the mark, so that'll make them go faster as well. But just looking at wind as well, it looked like there was a little bit more pressure out on this left-hand side. If the breeze is stabilised in terms of direction as well, I think the left-hand side you would expect to be pretty strong because of the land and how close you're going to get to it at the top. You're going to get potentially a little bit of a left-hand shift as you're coming back up on the port hand ley line. So I think all of the, at the moment, to me, all of the kind of the cues that you'd be looking for as kind of the tactician and the strategist are kind of telling me, would be telling me that left might be quite a strong way to go.
Indeed, that looks to be the case for Vasco Vascotto, Jordi Calafat, Juan Villa, the navigator who joined the team in Puerto Portals. 3 times world champions, 52 Super Series champions in 2023. A bit of a roller coaster of a season, but I firmly believe they can finish on a high note. Going well, 9.3 knots. Certainly we're starting to feel the breeze come in on cue, this Mistral. We're seeing it strengthening. Paprec further to the right, Phoenix there just behind. Gladiator the middle of the picture. Starting to stretch. There's somebody doing turns right there. I think teasing machine. No, sorry, I beg your pardon. Alpha Plus have just done turns, as we can see there. In 13th now. Again to American Magic, up to 10th as ever. We just say keep chipping away. In this case it's a little bit of minimizing the damage, as it were. But you know, this is a tough fleet to come into, and there's a full capacity, as it were, full lineup of 13 boats, Katie. It's easy, all too easy to put big numbers on the board, isn't it?
It is so easy, and especially with how tight the fleet is, there is really nothing between kind of the top bunch and the bunch that are kind of at the bottom, and those bunches change race on race, so there's not consistently the same boats at the top, there's not consistently the same boats at the bottom. It really is dependent on the decisions that are made race by race and mistakes that are made race by race. So yeah, it's American Magic will probably be thinking that they have the opportunity to chip away and that they just need to wait for other people to make mistakes, and the fleet is close enough that they are very much still in it. But equally for the boats at the front, they need to kind of make sure that they don't make mistakes, because they could very easily slip back down again with how close the fleet is.
Anyway, Platoon Aviation tacking with lead. They'll just consolidate relative to Paprec. You can see Paprec just under their boom. Would be still quite close on the cross. Paprec coming back with speed. Really nothing in it for me just now. Platoon Aviation. Paprec sailing a higher angle coming out, maybe in a little bit of a shift. And indeed Paprec back in front. Good call from Loic Perron. And actually there's going to be clear daylight between the two, Katie, isn't there?
Yeah, I think that actually Paprec have just got a really nice right-hand shift. As you say, when they tacked, it was looking pretty close to call. It was really hard to say. I'd have almost maybe given Platoon the edge when they tacked, but yeah, now looking at it, Paprec has got a really nice little right-hand shift, and they've managed to get a really solid cross on Platoon, which is going to put some distance between them and Platoon. And now, yeah, I was just about to say I would expect them to tack, and as I was about to say that, they have just tacked to kind of cover Platoon and to bank that gain that they've just made, and probably take that to the, clearly, they're in my brain. But yeah, they'll probably now kind of protect that lead all the way up to the windward mark.
Indeed, but what a race. I mean, it's just fantastic action. Paprec, Platoon, Phoenix, all three of the top boats have led this first race at the 52 Super Series. Porto, Cervo, Range Rover, Regatta, and the big finale for a 2025 season, which has delivered so much over the course of the 4 previous regattas. And Phoenix just losing a little bit out to Sled. Sled working this left side. Francesco Bruni and Murray Jones, what an afterguard. And Francesco Bruni won many, many regattas and titles here in Porto Cervo. And Murray Jones has just won the Maxi 1 world title with Galatea a couple of weeks ago. Platoon and Phoenix getting into a little bit of attacking match, which can be to the benefit of Paprec, Katie, can't it? And indeed to Sled. Yeah,
for sure. I think engaging in another boat with maneuvers are always going to slow you down. Your boat speed drops by quite a few knots, and the more you do, the more boat lengths you're going to lose on the race course. So that is more of an advantage to the boats kind of either side of who you're battling with. I think by the looks of it, they had a little bit of an engagement, a couple of tacks, but now they've kind of separated and kind of are now back racing their own race. But I think for Platoon especially, that's going to have opened up a wider gap to Paprec, so they've got a bit more on to be able to kind of overtake them again on the downwind.
Indeed, this left side looking good for Phoenix in the meantime. Seems to be gains to be made, the Phoenix value up to 5th, but let's see how that transpires as we get up this beat. There we see the immaculate white hull of Takashi Akura's Sled. Tacking, just hitching back up to the left. Chasing Phoenix. Phoenix, we're seeing potentially up to 2nd. Meantime, American Magic chipping away up to 8th. Gladiator having dropped to 7th. Not quite sure what they lost, but certainly the left seeming to strengthen, and wonder how that's going to affect Paprec. We're feeling Paprec will go out closer towards the starboard tack ley line. Katie, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think they'll want to be getting out there. They might do a little tack back slightly before the ley line, just so that they don't limit their options too much by being stuck out on the ley line. But I think they'll be waiting to see what breeze comes to them and making the decisions based on that.
Mm-hmm. But a really fascinating race course in the end. Nice opportunities on this second upwind, race 1. We're leg 3 of 4. And there we go, our aerial view from the windward mark. Patrick led at the windward mark first time out. And picked that right hand mark at the leeward gate, got themselves back through Platoon and indeed Phoenix at different times. Sled have made the gain. Let's see whether that sticks for them. But we're seeing American Magic really getting back into this match, little by little, step by step. Let's have a very quick look at the lineup. It's an all-French lineup on the Paprec, led by Loic Perron. Say our owner Jean-Luc Petit-Huguenin is on board. A really nice, solid ley line call. Just a little enough in it. Phoenix coming back at pace. May just be able to get, certainly closing up to Platoon Aviation. This is the windward mark, second time up. Race 1 here in Porto Cervo. Indeed, Phoenix just taking a little duck to go behind Platoon Aviation. It's going to be all on between these two boats down this final run. But it is the French team on the Patrick. Allez les Bleus really have created a big fan base at home in France. Grand Prix and monohull racing, really not the French thing as it were, but Patrick are changing the culture little by little, step by step. But round in second is Platoon Aviation. Third will be Phoenix. They're only a boat length behind, a boat length and a half. And Sled getting into the action really nicely. Solid tactics, good boat speed, fantastic progress through the fleet. They were in 7th top mark first time up, made a couple of place gains. So Sled round in 4th. Next round is a Gladiator. Gladiator were 4th at the top mark first time up, 5th now. Allegra to 7th. They were 8th at the first mark. And indeed, up to 7th then. American Magic chipping away as is their wont. Vayu just being closed out of the windward mark. That's going to be expensive for the Thai team. They're going to have to go right the way around the back of the fleet, I think. I don't think they'll find a gap inside there, but Criolla get up to 8, so good recovery from them. They were 13th at one point. Alcedo in 9th. Vayu, I think we're struggling to call them 10th at the moment. I think they're going to be 13th. Teasing Machine I would have in 10th. And then Alpha Plus and Vayu ending up going round in 13th. Revetza in 12th. But a great final run in prospect. Katie, the French, the blue kite of Paprec holding on. Phoenix are the first team to jibe off, so too have American Magic. Paprec have got 120 metres in hand. Katie, is that going to be enough down this final run? What's your thoughts?
I think that's a very well-deserved lead, if I'm being completely honest. They've
absolutely
raced that upwind incredibly well, and they've actually raced this whole race incredibly well. And I think just looking at just looking at how Paprec sailed downwind, that I'd say that the downwind is one of their strengths. I think this could. I don't want to jinx it. Don't make me say it. But
Okay, don't say it. Let's just.
They're doing amazing.
They're doing amazing. Let's just take it as read that they have a good bit in store or in hand, and Platoon, their nearest rivals, are chasing them on the same stretch of the water. The big threat, such as it is from Phoenix, who've gone left down this run. Seem to be quite content, as we've seen before many times with the Phoenix team. Very happy to back themselves and do their own thing. over the years. A team which you rarely see stressed. Sled staying down to the right. Now let's watch American Magic then in 7th. They were 13th around the, or actually they were 12th, 11th or 12th around the top mark, first time up. They were 13th on the approach to the mark. But they are not just past masters at making the small gains round the race course, but very, very often you see American Magic making their gains on the corners, at the turns, windward marks, leeward marks, offset marks. All about thinking ahead, planning ahead, seeing what's likely to develop and reacting accordingly. But we really have a great final run. Paprec, French team in the middle. They have the Germans out to the right, Platoon Aviation. They have the South Africans out to their left. But it's overall it's pretty even. It was 120 meters at the top mark for Paprec. Let's have a very quick look at the the all French lineup on Paprec. Jean-Luc Petithuguenin, the owner, is very much an owner who likes to be on board and run the team, as it were. But he's certainly not an owner driver. He loves being part of the team and takes a full participation. But then Cedric Chateau is the helmsman, Loic Perron is the tactician, Jean-Charles Monet is the navigator, Jérôme Naquet, the runners, Stéphane Neve, the main trimmer and the project manager. Clément Michel is one of the trimmers, along with Stéphane Lorizou, Jean-Pierre Goya and Clément Meister are the grinders. Mathieu Maladon is in the pit, Maxime Mazard in the mid-bow and Yves-Marie Pion on the bow. So all French teams super proud of their French heritage and indeed the support that they have at home. Missed out on the world title in Cascais on the last race by a single point to American Magic. And at that point I can remember Loic Perron saying that they would be back. He's told Terry Hutchison that Terry is still the man, but they were looking forward to future battles, and Paprec holding the lead down this final run. We saw some great fights in Cascais between Paprec and American Magic in the breezy conditions. I'd say Phoenix are probably a slightly bigger threat than Platoon at the moment coming down this run. But Katie, what of Paprec? What can they do to defend when they have boats on both sides?
Yeah, that's the kind of tricky question. I think all they can do is race their own race and race in do what they think is the winning route to the mark. You can't cover everyone. That's kind of not possible. So you've just got to get to the mark the quickest way you think you can. Looking at this race course at the moment and looking at the numbers on the tracking, actually the speeds, Phoenix and American Magic have been consistently kind of around the 13-14 knot mark of boat speed, whereas Paprec and Platoon is kind of around 11-12 and Paprec is kind of in the 12. So I think that left hand side is looking really strong. So I think Paprec are definitely at risk if that breeze holds out there and Paprec is unable to get into that breeze. But we'll see how quickly the ley line comes up. They're starting to get closer to the finish line now and closer to the ley line. So maybe Paprec will just be able to hold it. But Phoenix and American Magic, both at the top up there, are looking really strong to me right now.
I did though think just looking at the darkness and the water, the breeze seems to be now coming down to Paprec. Paprec with a stronger position closer to the finish line. But what a comeback from American Magic then. They've still got 120 metres, 110 metres behind Platoon Aviation, but The old watchwords, the maxim, keep chipping away, keep taking the next key move, isn't it, Katie? What is it you say? Do the next best thing.
Do the next right thing.
The next right
that's all
thing,
you can
that's
do,
it.
I think, with racing. Easier said than done.
Indeed, but you keep trying, and Phoenix very much in this fight. Going into the jibe, they're moving nicely. Interested to see what happens. We're only at 1 o'clock local time. Plan to do 2 races, but wonder whether Maria Torrijo, or race director, race manager, race officer, and indeed sports director for the club, Eduardo Retti, wonder what they'll decide to do, whether they'll wait for the breeze to build a little bit, but it's going to be close through this finish line. Platoon Aviation with a slightly better angle. Paprec have Phoenix under cover for the meantime. Katie, what's your view? It's going to be close between Paprec and Platoon. Could be Platoon by the looks of
It's
things.
going to be absolutely down to the wire, I reckon. Yeah, it's looking really close. Platoon have really got something down the bottom of this downwind, and as you say, I think they might have just kind of snuck in front, which is, yeah, it's really hard for Paprec, but both of these teams have raced a really good race, and that's just sail racing sometimes. And when Paprec is in such a hard positions with the 2 boats either side of them splitting, then yeah, they had to do something. Really close try by Platoon there.
It is,
on top
but it
of
looks
Paprec,
like
but I think
Platoon
that's sealed the
Aviation
deal
then.
for them.
Platoon Aviation taking first gun here in Porto Cervo. A key result for them, I think, building confidence, or maintaining the confidence they got in Porto Portals. Second though for Paprec, I think they'll be mildly disappointed, but then Phoenix coming through for third. Sled getting fourth. Very, very close between the top 4 boats. Paprec taking second by 5 seconds. Sled, all credit to them, they were 7th at the top mark. Bit of a recovery here, I think, from Criolla, I think. Just through ahead of Alegre. So Sled get 4th. 5th for the Brazilian team in Criolla. Criolla were 13th at the top mark. Gladiator get Gladiator gets 7th. Alegre 6th. So close coming through this finish line. Vayu get 8th. Alcedo Vitamina get 9th. American Magic seem to have lost out. They were up to 4th at one point. They get 10th in the end. And Pravetsa 11th. 12th is going to be Teasing Machine. And in fact, Alpha Plus, who took that penalty on that second upwind, coming through in 13th. So disappointing for them, but what a finish. Great result for the German team on Platoon Aviation. Kept their nerve. And the mojo may be back on the German team. Certainly great team building, morale building result for them. Paprec is probably slightly disappointed, but they sailed a fantastic race. And Phoenix serving notice that they're not here to make up the numbers in any size, shape or form with a really good third. But Katie, I say a real morale booster for the Platoon Aviation team. I'm tipping them confidently for this week, but they finished pretty strongly in Portals with a 3-2-1, so their second win in a row, and it was all down to that final run, Katie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was actually, and I kind of missed them coming. Like the numbers on the tracking, kind of what it looked like on the water, it looked like that left-hand side looked really strong, but actually clearly Platoon had a plan and they thought that right-hand side was going to come in strong, and they were expecting something to come in. And yeah, they made a really good decision holding out past, letting Paprec drive away, holding on out longer to try and kind of find a gain. And yeah, that right-hand side came in super strong. And also with Sled and Criolla as well. I mean, Criolla rounded that last Windward mark in 13th place, I think it was. And yeah, so that just shows that places can change so much. Just even in the bottom half of that run, the bottom third of that run was where all of those gains were made, and absolutely nothing is kind of, yeah, you can't take anything for granted out here. That lead that Paprec had, maybe it's my fault. Oh no.
No, but, never. But I mean,
yeah, that lead that Paprec worked so hard for, but yeah, it could go super quickly, but really, really well raced. And I think Paprec and Platoon and Phoenix, actually all three of them can take some serious confidence from that racing and the way that they race, and it's very clear that all of them have kind of turned up with the bit between their teeth, and they are really going for this event.
Indeed. I mean, Tom Slingsby said to me last night that he would make mistakes, but they certainly set out a statement of intent off the start line. But that first run, maybe there was where they lost out initially, not going with Paprec and Platoon to a certain extent, or going the different side of the course from Phoenix and Paprec. But they're an exciting team and every chance of winning here, Katie, don't they?
Yeah, they really do, and I think everyone out here is going to make mistakes. It's sailing and it's unpredictable, and no one can kind of race a perfect race or race a perfect regatta. And it's the important thing is learning from those mistakes and understanding kind of what happened and how you can stop those happening again. And I think they really learned from that first downwind. They kind of changed strategy a bit on the next one. So yeah, I think it's all about learning, and it's all about the learning fastest out of everyone out here and kind of trying to get on top of things the quickest.
Anyway, a great race, a great way to start the 52 Super Series Porto Cervo by Range Rover Regatta. One race down, second race should follow fairly swiftly, but we're going to take a short break and we'll see you again very soon. Finish, it could not be closer.
It's absolutely insane.
2 seconds within value in Alpha Plus.
Phenomenal win here.
What a thrilling finish.
3, 2, 1.
Are they going to have enough momentum to just get round? What a mark grounding.
10.52s on this spreader leg is insane.
up, you scream. God like gaze, you're so beautiful, but you're not for me. I can't sleep lately, I'm just trying to find peace. Classic melodies, I just wanna be free. I'm sorry, darling, I can't breathe. There's no room for us, there's no room for us. I said, darling, can you see? There's no room for us, there's no room. Now our lives are changing, promises keep slipping, and I always knew it wasn't you, it wasn't you. Now our lives are changing, promises keep slipping, and I always knew it wasn't you, it wasn't you. And she said, boys out here coming from a mile away, not as sleek as you think. DMs early in the AMs, I'm not Becky from the street. All this time, baby, our love was so deep. You can't sleep lately, but what about me? I'm sorry, darling, I can't breathe. There's no room for us, there's no room for us. I said, darling, can you see? There's no room for us, there's no room. Now our lives are changing, promises keep slipping, and I always knew it wasn't you, it wasn't you. Now our lives are changing, promises keep slipping, and I close. Stop drumming on my heart, please stop. The rhythm that you're playing is just way up. You're not singing in the right key, check your tone. Or soon you'll be a one-man man alone. Stop drumming on my heart. Why you look surprised when we've done this all before? I'm not sure the highs really make up for the lows. When words don't work and I get hurt somehow, I feel like I'm the worst. Manipulation overload, but babe, this time I'll steal the show. Please listen close. Stop drumming on my heart, please stop. The rhythm that you're playing is just way up. You're not singing in the right key, check your tone. Or soon you'll be a my head, romanticizing forever. Last love I found, knees met the ground and all my roses died. Swore I was through, but looking at you, I think I changed my mind. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it. Diving at first into all of it. Oh, what a rush looking into your eyes. Playing it off like it's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it. One look and I'm dying to run the risk. I'll live in your head for the rest of your life. Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? My God, don't we look good together? I should Don't know the time I'm letting go. I wanna find someone to love. I feel alive. I think you know. We're getting down, we're getting low. Low, 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 low. We're getting down, we're getting low. Low, 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 low. We're getting down, we're getting low. Don't know the time I'm letting go. I wanna find someone to love. I feel alive. I think you know. We're getting down, we're getting low. Low, 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 low. We're getting down, we're getting low. Low, 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 low. We're getting down, we're getting low. Party all night, go into the dark skies. I'll party all night, party all night, party all night. Give me one more dose and I'll party all night. Low, low, don't know the time I'm letting go. I wanna find someone to love. I feel alive. I think you know. We're getting down, we're getting low. Don't know the time I'm letting go. I wanna find someone to love. I feel alive. I think you know. We're getting down, we're getting low. We're getting down, we're getting low. Tell me so.
Trying to fit. Oh, what a finish. It could not be closer.
It's absolutely insane.
2 seconds within Value and Alpha Plus.
Phenomenal win here.
What a thrilling finish.
3, 2, 1.
Are they going to have enough momentum to just get round? What a mark rounding.
10.52s on this spreader leg is insane.
Well, I've seen some close finishes over the season so far, but Paprec versus Platoon Aviation at that finish line was really super close as well, with the German team just taking the honours in this first race. A real morale builder for them. They finished strong in Puerto Portals last month, and they're keeping up the momentum, getting through Paprec on that final run to take the first blood here in Porto Cervo. We're going into race number 2. We have a little bit of a delay while the race committee reset the start line. Breeze is still pretty solid. We're not seeing the 15-17 knots that was forecast, but there is time enough. We're well up to schedule. It's only 20 to 2 in the afternoon here in Porto Cervo in beautiful Sardinia. But let's hope the breeze comes in, keeps building, but certainly it's going to be a breezy day tomorrow. So food for thought for some teams through the fleet. It was difficult opening for American Magic Quantum Racing, welcoming Doug DeVos back. Not quite getting the start that they would really have wanted, and then getting a little bit lost in the traffic upwind. So really they kept chipping away, they kept coming back, taking places, and then just lost out, unfortunately. Didn't manage to execute on the final run, so coming away with a 10th. So that was how that race played out for the American Magic. Looking then very, very quickly at the circuit standings after the first race here in Porto Cervo. American Magic now on 141 points. Sled on 176. Paprec 201.5. So they move well clear of Alcedo Vitamina on 206. Platoon Aviation on 208. So Platoon Aviation closing the gap already on third. Look at that, 201.5 versus 208. We've seen Platoon Aviation coming good at the last regatta of the season, as we did last year, and they're on the hunt. They're on the charge, are the Germans. Alpha Plus then on 6th. Value on 7th. There's only a point and a half between the two teams from Asia, rivals and friends. A great rivalry there. 6th and 7th. Allegra 235, Prevezza 256, Gladiator 281, Phoenix 310, 344 for Criolla. Criolla, great recovery there to 5th. And Teasing Machine on 357. Of course, the 10th to 13th place boats haven't raced the full season. All have missed at least one regatta. So that's the standings. Sled catching a few points back on American Magic. So American Magic need to perform in this race with a minute and a half or so to go. Breeze, I say, is still probably just a little bit more than we had before. We were at 12, 13 knots on the start line in the previous race, and we've got a minute and 10 to go. Platoon Aviation are race winners. They're setting up. They got a good start. Started nicely towards the pin end of the line. Good time and distance. They're setting up in much the same kind of position. Up at the top end of the line, we're seeing Prevezza and Criolla. Criolla, two boats are Criolla furthest up to windward of the group. Vayu, Prevezza, all towards the committee boat end of the line. Down on this foreground, we have Teasing Machine. Platoon Aviation then pulling the bow down, just building speed ahead of Gladiator. Gladiator looking at 29 seconds to go, like they might just be a little late. Platoon Aviation pulling the bow up just to burn off a little bit of speed. Bow forward on the line. I think that looks like Sled. We're 15 seconds to go. To me, we're looking very much like there may be at least some individual recalls, if not a general recall. Teasing Machine closed out. Platoon Aviation getting in at the pin end of the line. General recall, yeah, we saw that one coming, unfortunately. Boats at the committee boat of the end of the line started going early, but a really, really scrappy start, so we're going to have to wait to reset and go again. So that's disappointing then, but really we need to have a fair start, straight start with no boats over the line, obviously. So I think we'll probably see the fleet setting up. Problem on board Platoon Aviation, looking like potentially an injury. See how that develops. So that's a blow for Platoon Aviation. And that general recall, not quite sure what happened. But the fleet carrying on, just settling into the upwind. But we'll go for another start very quickly, I think. But in the meantime, the fleet just carrying on upwind, just checking the breeze as much as possible. Upwind coming back now. American Magic just carrying on all the time that they can get going upwind on this race course, is trying to learn the breeze as much as possible. So too for Vitamina. And American Magic then turning to come back. I think we'll probably reset the line, I'm not sure. We're going to take a little bit of a break while we reset and come back to you with this second start just in a few seconds. So join us in a few seconds.
Some infidelities, the real estate inside my head you took is never coming back, but you said that it wasn't personal. And every time you lied to me, it's like I didn't want to see, cause I thought you were beautiful, and beauty doesn't want to be mischievous and devious and set a fire unto us, but you were never beautiful at all. I wasn't fine to begin with, walked out those lines to begin with, but you forced me to work on myself because you put me through hell. I guess I should thank you for that. I'm okay. But then I see you out again, laughing with the group of friends. There he is, you're holding hands, makes me feel pathetic and a little bit erratic. So I drink till I can't stand, and you know I won't confront you, even though it's all I wanna do. Probably best to just ignore it, both impossible and true. I wasn't fine to begin with, walked all those lines to begin with, but you forced me to work on myself because you put me through hell. Thank you for that. I'm okay, but it was a real close call. It went from a walk to a crawl, had to tear down the Berlin Wall. I was panicking, but hey, I guess that I survived you, and that shit was hard to do. I've had every shade of blues since I met you. She loves me not the pedals hit the floor. And what you get is what you got when you can't pull no more. I'm okay, but it was a real close call.
I play it safe, and you can see it. It's easy for me to show, but sometimes I'm really brave, and that just means that I'll try again tomorrow. It's my dark created mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really want to see that sunrise over the water. I swam over and under, get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Among the waves, let them take me as far as they want to go. And it's time for me to say, they won't break me, I'm braver than I know. It's my dark created mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really want to see it. Sunrise over the water, I swam over and under. Get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Oh, such a time as this. I was made for this. It's my doubt creating mountains where the valleys used to be. And all the things I thought I knew were changing like the seas. Yeah, but I have overcome it all and I'm still here. Oh, I gotta change perspectives if I really want to see. Sunrise over the water, I swam over and under. Get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Oh, such a time as this. Oh, I was made for this.
Single your confusion, great brave woman, laughing to illusion. You're not afraid to die, you know dying is alone. Down or up, you're still alone, laughing or crying, you roll alone. How do you do it? You know I come from pain. You say I can't complain, it's on me. The past is long gone, and the future's unknown. You are telling me, you tell me. You are telling me, you tell me. He said to be polite, the only way to get what you want, the only way they like you is to stay in line and follow the crowd. But you stand out black as the night. You know they're all lying. You know I come from pain. You say I can't complain, it's on me. The past is long gone, and the future's unknown. You are telling me, you told me. Climbing to your bright future, even though you're dying. You fell before and you keep on trying. You do it all again, now blinded by beauty. You tell the story as it is, speaking not to be understood, but it's better good. You know I come from pain. Say I can't complain, it's on me. The past is long gone, and the future's unknown. You are telling me, you tell me. You are telling me, you tell me. You are telling me, you tell me.
finish. It could not be closer.
It's absolutely insane.
2 seconds between Value and Alpha Plus.
Phenomenal win here.
What a thrilling finish.
3, 2, 1.
Are they going to have enough momentum to just get round? What a mark rounding.
10.52s on this spreader leg is insane.
So that's a small delay waiting for race 2 to get underway. Some drama on that start line of the previous start which had to be recalled. We saw we didn't see, but actually Gladiator hit Platoon Aviation, some damage to the boat which had just won that first race. So unfortunately, Platoon Aviation is heading ashore as far as we can see. An injury to Gerd Habermüller, the big powerful Austrian grinder. We believe he was in shape to carry on racing, but we're going to have to review that. But 3 points penalty to Gladiator for causing that collision, and so they're dropping down to 9th with on 10 points for the moment. So a quick run down the standings. Platoon Aviation first, Babprek second, Phoenix third, Sled fourth, Criolla fifth, Aglegre sixth, Value seventh, Alligator Vitamina in 8th, Gladiator 9th, American Magic 10th, Pravetsa 11th, Teasing Machine 12th, and Alpha Plus in 13th. So we understand that Gladiator were at fault in that collision, so presumably we'll see what happens, but Platoon Aviation should be able to claim for redress or average points. Fascinatingly enough, or ironically enough, we saw a very, very similar situation on at the end of the first day in Puerto Portales at the end of the 2023 season when Gladiator hit Sled and Platoon Aviation. Platoon Aviation had to sit out some races and came back with redress, which in the end was enough for them to win the season. But that was a dramatic conclusion to 2023, and we're going to have to see what happens with Platoon Aviation. But in the meantime, Breeze seems to be up. We're going into the second start for race number 2. Katie, how's it looking?
The sky is getting pretty moody out here actually, but the conditions are looking really good. The breeze has got up around 19 knots now, and the breeze has swung a bit further right, which is what we were expecting it to do. That's what's on all the forecasts. But as I say, the skies are getting progressively moodier. There's some pretty ominous looking clouds about the place. So I think it's going to be an eyes out of the boat situation, looking for what weather systems are coming down, looking what you can see, and kind of trying to predict what the weather will do as it's rolling in.
Indeed, but it's very much true to the timing and the wind speed and intensity direction of the forecast for the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's see how that plays out. Meantime, Gladiator setting up for the pin end of the line along with looks like a Teasing Machine. But that last attempt at a start was really pretty scrappy. A couple of boats going in very, very early and having no place to slow down or go. Gladiator Alpha Plus Value to the pin end of the line. Pravetsa more towards the middle. Up at the committee boat end, while Criolla are way high off ley line coming in. Phoenix starting at the boat as they did in the previous start. Sled also up there as our Paprec American Magic have a little bit of space, such as they have to dive off into. 25 seconds to go. Gladiator going forward with pace, just burning off a little bit now. Alquero Vitamina nicely positioned, have space to build speed into, as we're seeing them doing nicely now. In the final 5 seconds, should be even Value pushing too hard maybe, or Allegre maybe looking at another general recall perhaps, not sure. Allegre looking like they were early there, having to bail out. Very difficult for them to get out of that position where they are at the moment, but there they go. So tough moment for Allegre, for the British team led by Andri Soriano. So much pressure on this start line, Katie, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure, and especially even if you are in space on the start line, being able to get your time and distance perfect is really hard. And if everyone's in space, it's going to be about who can really nail their time and distance. And unfortunately, Allegre just pushing it a little bit too hard and a second early, and because of the position they were in, it made it really hard for them to get back and actually be able to go back to the line. So that's pretty punishing start by them. They had to slow up, wait for all of the boats around them to overtake them before they could peel back round to the start line. Really, really punishing for them, and we'll have to see what they can find on this race course to get back into it.
And a much more solid start, I think, from American Magic, closer to the line this time. They're squeezing up to the line of Paprec. Phoenix in a reasonable position. They have just able to hold higher than Paprec for the meantime, but it's pretty nervous, pretty tough stuff at the moment in terms of trying to hold that lane, keep the speed up. Quite liking the position just now of Vitamina, but Vitamina not seeming to be able to have the pace to make that position work for them. American Magic, quite nice. Gladiator, though, leading according to the tracking just now off that pin end of the line, along with Alpha Plus. Provezza, I think, Katie, 3 up from the boat, seem to have themselves something to work with, unlike the previous start.
They've given themselves a really nice lane actually off this start. They kind of had a nice gap, and they maintain the gap after the trigger, which is really nice, and it means that they're able to sail their own modes. They're not pinching for a high mode, they're not trying to kind of fight for their lane. They've got space to be able to make the boat go as fast as possible, so I think they've done a really good job off of this start line.
Indeed, just starting to maybe squeeze up to Alcedo Vitamina. We're on board with the Italian team, 9th in the previous race. Super intense concentration on board. Just trying to hold their lane in the meantime. American Magic actually have got themselves a nice lane. Paprec about half a boat length behind and to Windward. Sled going really well as well. But talking about foundations to build from, American Magic look quite good just now, much better than the previous start. A little bit more wind pressure, as Katie said, 17 to 19 knots of breeze. On board with the French team, which finished second in that first race. Really need to concentrate on just going fast now. Every centimetre, every metre counts on this first upwind. So Katie, we're seeing Gladiator leading on the tracking just now. How will they fare from that left side, you feel? Is there a gain to be had on the left?
Yeah,
go on, sorry.
Yeah, I think if the breeze stays kind of stable and isn't kind of affected by all of the rain clouds that are around us and the storm clouds, then I think the left-hand side will be pretty strong. You've got quite a lot of land on the left-hand side, and I think, I think geographically that will be a game feature, and it will make the top left-hand side of the course really strong. We saw that in the last race. Despite the kind of the shifting breeze, that top left was really strong, and we saw Platoon actually use that to their advantage in the last race, and Sled as well, both coming in right on that port ley line and being able to tack inside some of the other boats that were out on the starboard ley line. So I think the left is really strong. It's just going to be about choosing the opportunity or choosing the time to tack back and making sure that you've got a good lane to do it. Gladiator's in a pretty tough spot because they've potentially got to make the decision whether they can tack and cross the fleet or whether they want to tack and duck the fleet and risk being tacked on. So they've got a pretty tricky decision on their hands there, but I think the left-hand side will be quite strong at the top.
I think so. I think they're pitching for the, as you say, the geographical gain on this left side with the land. likely to bring a lift on port tack. In the meantime, just squeezing up very slightly. Alpha Plus just behind. American Magic really have a nice position just now. A clear lane. Paprick to windward and behind. Phoenix not quite as strong off the start line this time. But I think that's going to be the measure of this regatta, Casey, isn't it? We're not going to see teams super consistent on each of the first upwinds. I think such intensity on the start line. And in the end, quite an even line, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
I think.
Go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say it is a pretty even line, and the boats are all pretty spread out across the line, which means it's hard because it's all on time and distance. And yeah, I think it's going to be kind of all on that start, and if you can get a little bit of a jump on the rest of the boats around you, punch out a little bit earlier, then I think, especially if the breeze for the rest of, or like for the next couple of days, is forecast to be in this direction still. So I think that left-hand side is going to be still quite strong, is what I would predict. So I think getting off the start line well and being able to head out towards this left-hand side is really going to be very powerful.
Indeed, but it's interesting that for the moment, the two boats on the most extreme opposite sides of the course are first and second. That's always good fun. Value on the extreme right, and Gladiator on the extreme left. Not unusual here though, because very often we see more pressure further offshore. So then Katie Gladiator have chosen to attack and come back. They're on port, converging quite quickly with Alpha Plus, but we'll just get across, I think. Alpha Plus just choosing to come up a little bit as they go around the back of Gladiator. Gladiator and American Magic look to be quite close, but again, should just be okay. Sure that if there's any doubt, then American Magic will make themselves known. And yeah, Terry's calling for a penalty on Gladiator.
I did hear the jury boat. They did whistle, but I'm not entirely sure who that penalty was for. But I definitely did hear a whistle from a jury boat.
Terry's still got the flag in his hand, but I think he's had the answer from the umpire. He's not happy. Waiting to see whether there is a penalty for Gladiator or not. It's certainly close on the cross. All been to the advantage of Alpha Plus. Indeed, there we see Gladiator, I think, going into a penalty. So that's costing them, considering they were leading. So turns for Gladiator, which actually brings them absolutely to a halt. Not a good atmosphere on board the Gladiator at the moment. Quite sure after that previous start, having just taken the maximum penalties for a collision with Platoon Aviation, and getting off the line in good shape, but then fouling American Magic on that cross is always going to be close. Anyway, time to settle down on board American Magic Quantum Racing. Blood pressure going through the roof momentarily for Terry Hutchison, but they are in contention in this race. They're in second now, going well as the fleet starts to open up very slightly. The Value to their left and leading momentarily. Alpha Plus way out on the right side. But on board with American Magic, Doug DeVos on the helm, Lucas Calabrese, the young Argentinian Olympic bronze medalist in the 470 class, America's Cup helmsman, and really one of the outstanding talents on the American Magic team at the moment. The weather, Alpha Plus, also on Quantum now as of this season. But coming across from the right, bow number 27 is Vayu. Katie Vayu going well, have done well out on that right side. Certainly converging back to the fleet with some pace. Katie.
Looking at the speeds on the tracking, they've had some pretty good speeds for the way back across. They've been hitting kind of 9 knots at points, which is really good for them. It's always high risk to split from the fleet, especially in a venue where actually the geographical land features can be so important. They didn't get the start they wanted, and they clearly had to kind of adapt after that, and going out right was clearly what they thought was the winning move. But yeah, they've got themselves into some clear wind out there. They were able to race as fast as they can, and they've had some good speed coming back across. So it'll be really interesting to watch how they play, how they manage the fleet in this next bit, whether they try and kind of keep going across on starboard, cross the fleet, and then tack back above them all on that port ley line, or whether they want to tack back in front of some of the boats and lead back off to that ley line. But they've done a nice job getting back into it. But for me, I think the kind of who's been going best on this beat, I think American Magic have been really quick. They've been punching out of all the positions that they've been in, really punched out off the line, and again heading back on port, they're really kind of seem to have found a bit of an extra gear. Just again, looking at the numbers on the tracking, there's consistently kind of a couple, like 0.2, 0.3 knots faster than the rest of the fleet, kind of consistently, I would say, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but over kind of an hour-long race, that really does make all the difference, and it means that it opens opportunities for them to be able to tack in tighter lanes and to make the decisions they want to make.
Indeed, Katie, and Vayu just getting a little bit into the traffic now, having come across from that right side. They've got a few crew changes once again. They have a Nakapau Pumpat back as the helms person. Nakapau Pumpat, of course, ex-Opti world champion, and Nick Rogers racing as tactician with no strategist this time. Owner backstay Dylan Whitcraft. Alex Freifel as backstay. Tom Green, main trimmer. Kevin Whitcraft, owner trimmer. Gabriela Olivio and as a trimmer. Lily Marino as a grinder, along with Matt Godfroy. Nick Whitcraft is back with the boat for the first time this season. Tom Whitcraft, the co-owner in the pit. Anusorn Nagmarit in the mid-bow, and Mika Ide on the bow. So a real mixture of nationalities, a very, very strong Thai presence this time. And great to see Nakapau Pumpat back on the helm, going well just now. But it's American Magic who are leading for the moment, with Sled in second. So on board with American Magic then, really nicely settled, going fast. The news from the platoon aviation team is the damage is relatively minor to the boat, but they can't race at the moment, and they will be back to race okay tomorrow. And Gerd Harmermuller, the big powerful grinder, is doing well and should be fit to race as far as we understand. But that's the update from platoon aviation. Sled up to second. So things well settled on the Alpha Plus platoon. Phoenix just to leeward. They've got some work to do in 8th. A Gladiator, after that penalty, are now way back in 12th. So Prevette had a good start, but they're on this left side, about 50-60 metres behind Alpha Plus. on board with Phoenix in the match, but not able to impose themselves the way they did off the start line in the previous race. But good conditions. Going to be much a little bit more exciting on the runs, a bit faster, a bit more fun. But a great scrap now between American Magic and Sled. Katie, how's it looking? We're seeing Sled very much contenders for the minute. Alpha Plus to their left side as we approach this Windward Mark second race here at the 52 Super Series. Porto, Cervo, a Range Rover, a Regatta.
Sled very much still in the mix. I think they've got the advantage of being on starboard, but I think kind of coming in on port late, as I said, as we saw in the last race, is really, really powerful. We've just now looking at the crosses or the coming together of kind of Alpha Plus and American Magic. It looks like American Magic's kind of dialed down Alpha Plus to try and force them to tack a bit earlier and potentially force them to even underlay that Windward Mark, which in the last race we saw, I think it was Vayu that underlaid the Windward Mark, and having to jibe all the way around is
it's
really
nervous
costly.
Times, isn't it?
Yeah, American Magic really good. Yeah, it is. Alpha Plus really having to shoot for this mark. They did a really good job to kind of stay with their bow just inside American Magic. So American Magic are really struggling to get around the front of them, but super tight, and American Magic just managed to get around in front, followed really closely by Alpha Plus, and then followed again really closely by Sled. So literally nothing in it between these top three teams at the moment.
Indeed, good to see Provezza getting around, I think, in fourth or fifth. Very much in the match. And then Vitamina Alcedo in the fifth. Sixth will be Vayu. Seventh, Allegra. Eighth, Phoenix. Ninth, Criolla. Paprick, I think, 10th. Paprick a little bit scrappy up that first beat. Just teasing machine round next, and then in 12th will be a Gladiator. Of course, only 12 boats racing at the moment, with Platoon Aviation, the race winner, away back ashore to effect repairs. Now then, penalty there for Value by the looks of things, I think. But American Magic leading down this first run. Sled second, Alpha Plus third, Provezza having their best race for a while in fourth. And that battle for third overall for the circuit between Alcedo Vitamina. Well, Alcedo have the upper hand this time in fifth, Paprec in 10th. Katie, a fairly straight run by the looks of things. Only Criolla have jibed off early. What are you thinking?
So yeah, most of the boats have held out on starboard, carrying on a bit. American Magic has actually just opted to jibe across the front of Sled. So they're clearly thinking they want to get back to the middle of the race course and lead the rest of the boats out back towards the left. Sled now following on. These boats are so close together down this run that actually it's really hard to choose that jibe point, because the chances of you getting jibed on are really high. So you've kind of got to choose the right moment and go back. And if you miss that point, then you miss your lane to go back in. And yeah, it looks like Alpha Plus is trying to carry on a bit here and see if they can regain those positions that they lost. They had a bit of an issue at the Windward Mark with being forced to kind of underlay by Quantum, and I think actually looking at that from a tactical point of view, boat on boat, that was incredibly forward thinking of Quantum. You can see that they were thinking about not just kind of the position there and then at the top of the beat, but actually they were really thinking about the position they wanted to be in at the spreader leg. And I think they would have been thinking, if we can make it so that Alpha Plus are slow coming into this Windward, then we will be able to then overtake them on the next leg. And that was a really good example of the kind of forward-thinking nature, I think, of this fleet and the boats in this fleet.
Indeed, and particularly American Magic, who've got a small lead over Sled Alpha Plus on this right side. It was interesting, just little puffs and gusts. We saw some great speeds from Phoenix coming into the back of their group and then jibing early. Regatta going quite well as well, I think. And let's see how this plays out. For the meantime, the gain maybe on this right side to Alpha Plus, but I think that will only be transient, though there may be a little bit less wind pressure where American Magic are just now. How's your boat speeds looking, Katie?
It's really interesting watching them, actually. You can really kind of see when they're surfing down a wave and when they're falling off the back of a wave and when they get a gust and when they don't get a gust. They're changing a lot, and actually the boats that can keep their speed up higher for longer are averagely going to be doing better on this downwind. But yeah, as you were kind of saying, Alpha Plus to me has got they're kind of seeing 14-15 knots generally for the last sort of minute or two. American Magic has been a bit down on speed. So if Alpha Plus can kind of keep in this gust, carry the pressure all the way downwind, then this could be looking good for them. But American Magic could, based on how this race course has been all day and kind of the weather systems that are around us, we know that kind of anything can really happen, even kind of right up until the last bit of the downwinds.
Indeed, breeze is quite puffy, quite gusty, even though we have good wind strength. Criolla actually made that gain on the previous downwind. Big gain for them. They're trying to see if they can make the same kind of gain this time, way out on that left side. Tactician is 3 times Olympian Sam Albrecht, another sailor who ended up in the 49er class representing Brazil. Alpha Plus and American Magic converging. Alpha Plus have a clear lead. There's a great scrap, great tussle for the top 3 places.
I think just speaking to the number of kind of 49er sailors and the number of Olympic sailors in the fleet, especially kind of in the roles of in the afterguard, in the roles of tactician and things like that. I actually think I kind of have reflected on what we were talking about in the last race, and actually I think one of the other big things is that in terms of sheer quantity and number of races that you do as an Olympic sailor is crazy, and every day pretty much is you're training racing, you're doing racing, you're having these scenarios and playing through these scenarios, and you experience them so much. And I think actually that is why a lot of Olympic sailors then kind of continue into the yachting circuit, because the experience that you bring from, even though it's not sailing the same types of boats, the experience you bring from a tactical perspective is unparalleled because of the sheer amount and the quantity of racing that you actually get done during Olympic campaigning.
It's interesting. There's certainly no shortage of Olympic sailors in this fleet and Olympic medals. I mean, all the way through the different classes. So different boats, different teams. But we're just watching how this plays out. Well, actually, in the end, the Criolla have made another gain on that left side. For the meantime, Alpha Plus going well on the right, along with Sled. Sled absolutely flying down the middle of the course. Alpha Plus in our foreground. Huge talent on board, huge amount of experience with Edo Stead and Ian Moore, Craig Craig Monk and co, and a mix of young talent as well as they go into their jibe on a little bit of a high after finishing on the podium for the first time in Puerto Portals. But this is a different venue, much faster, more physical racetrack at the moment, but their leading sled for the moment. Let's have a very quick look at the Alpha Plus lineup here in Porto Cervo. They coming back off their first ever podium, the Alpha Plus lineup. Real mix of different cultures and talents, but Nick Egno Johnson on the helm, young Kiwi match racer, partnered with Edo Stead, super experienced tactician. Sean Kang, owner strategist. Ian Moore sailed many miles and events with Edo, not least on the Bellamente. Steve Trevich, Steve-O in the runners. Luke van der Kamp, the young project manager from Hong Kong. The floater, Rod Dawson, huge experience in the 52s and many other classes. On the main, Alex Goff on one of the trimmers along with Zach Hurst. Phil Clapp, the super powerful big English grinder, working with the Finn bronze medalist Craig Monk, Brian Say and James Mitchell, Pedro Mas, the massively experienced bowman. As we approach the leeward mark, with Alpha Plus still in the lead, setting up to drop early, Katie, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're going to be really focusing on kind of, earlier drop, being able to get a really good rounding and having themselves a really good lane heading out towards that left-hand side, because I think, as we saw, I think that left-hand side is going to be, it was strong on the last upwind, I think it's going to be really strong on this upwind as well. So having a really good lane out that way and is going to be super vital. And if Alpha Plus can kind of sail fast and as high as they can out of this lane, then they give themselves opportunities to tack back whenever they want to tack back and really to kind of be in control of this race course.
Pravetz and Alcedo go round opposite marks at the same time. Pravetz on the left-hand mark, Alcedo a long, wide rounding, just lacking Phoenix inside them at the mark, I think. American Magic on the left-hand mark. And then Criolla banking that gain down to the run. Haprek on the right-hand mark. Allegra on the left-hand mark. Gladiator, small gain to them on the right-hand mark. Teasing Machine on the left. And looking like Value coming in 12th after that penalty at the top mark. So disappointing for them. They were going so well up that first beat. But them's the breaks, I guess, in this fleet. So up this second beat, race 2. Alpha Plus leading from sled. And in the end, Alpha Plus now can start to think about covering the fleet as best they want to. Certainly on this left side, Katie, you probably wouldn't want to stay with the left for too long with so many boats inside you to the right.
No, especially, with those boats, quite a lot of them all tacking off. I'd want to be going with them or potentially even leading some of them back. If I was in Alpha Plus's position, I'd be thinking about kind of covering the fleet, going with the fleet, and one of the simplest rules of thumb in sailing is just keep yourself between the fleet and the windward mark. So that is what I would be trying to do as Alpha Plus in that position.
A little bit of a gain since the leeward gate to Phoenix. Phoenix took, I think, one or certainly got through Alcedo at the leeward gate. Pravetza more on this left side, certainly at the mark. So I wonder what Edo Stead and the afterguard of Alpha Plus are feeling at the moment. Certainly Breeze is built quite nicely. It'd be nice to get a little bit of sunshine, Katie, wouldn't it? It kind of dulls down the excitement when it's as grey as it is, but Breeze is 17, 18 knots, maybe a little bit less. But Alpha Plus then elect to tack back, I think. maybe not. Just an odd angle in the foreground from our drone shot.
I think
Criolla.
looking at the positions of Alpha Plus with regards to the fleet, I think they're probably going to be feeling like there's no point at the moment to tack back. I think probably for them, unless they've got a really good reason to tack back and a really good indication or a cue that's telling them that the left isn't going to work. I don't see why they would be tacking back without a good reason at this point.
Fair point. Especially with the sled just on their weather hip and sailing much the same line as them. The race really is behind Phoenix there, between Provezza, Alcedo and American Magic. They're on board with the Alcedo Vitamine. Maximum concentration, just trying to keep the height, keep the speed. So there's well, these are our projected points standings. If things remain the same, of course, with the variable we can't account for just now is Platoon Aviation presumably will apply for some kind of redress, having been damaged by a collision with the Gladiator, unable to take part in this race. However, that's how things would project at the moment. If position stayed the same, Sled and Phoenix would share top spot. Allegra third, Paprec fourth. But Phoenix certainly recovering after not the best start to this race, but they're just taking a couple of places at the Leeward Gate and going well at the moment. Allegra very much in the mix in this regatta overall by the looks of things. In fifth at the moment. Sixth in the first race. Allegra pushing a little bit further out to this left side, but American Magic way over on the right. Katie, what are you seeing this second half of this upwind? It's kind of more of the same,
There's
is
a
it?
pretty even split in the fleet, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty even split. You got kind of, I'd say, slightly more than half of the boats out on this left-hand side, but they're definitely not opting to go quite as far into the left as they had done on the previous upwind. They're not kind of hitting the ley lines, which is what they were doing on the previous one, as I said. Alpha Plus choosing to tack back and lead that pack back across towards the right-hand side. At this point, I think the left is still looking strong to me, and I mean, I'm kind of sat on the rib, kind of motoring dead upwind, so it's quite hard for me to kind of judge what the wind direction is doing. But for me, at the moment, I think I'd still probably want to be on that left-hand side. But then, yeah, American Magic we know are fast and they make good decisions, and they're very much opting for that right-hand side of the race course. So there's 100% going to be a reason why they're over there. They're not just going to be rolling the dice. So yeah, I think for me, I like the left still, but that right-hand side may well come in strong.
Certainly looking at how Alpha Plus and Sled are at the moment, certainly high enough on port. So to Allegra in our foreground for the moment. Katie, we're just on board momentarily with American Magic, watching Doug DeVos steering upwind in these conditions. Give us an insight into how you sail these boats or keep the boats fast in terms of the helm going upwind in these conditions. I mean, it's relatively flat water, a little bit of chop building up, but it's minimum helm use, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're always kind of told when you're sailing that the rudder is a brake, essentially. So the more you use the rudder, the more you're slowing the boat down. And there's going to be a constant communication loop between the trimmer, between the helm, kind of talking about firstly what the helmsman can feel on the rudder, because he'll be able to feel whether the rudder feels heavy, whether it feels light, and that will give a good indication of kind of of how quick you're going, and it all kind of relates to each other, and there'll be this constant communication loop, and they'll be constantly looking at the numbers. They'll have an optimum amount of heel that they want on the boat, so they'll be always trying to steer to those numbers, and they'll be working main trimmer and helmsman trying to really be work together to make sure that both the main and the helm kind of are equaled out.
Indeed, and one of the things for each of the helms, and particularly in American Magic, is that they collect so much data. There's no hiding place. There's a direct report to the helm of his performance over the day, over each leg, over each part of each leg, and it's great, valuable learning. And certainly American Magic and the Quantum teams are so driven by data, and it's entirely empirical. There's nothing subjective about the measurement of their performance in every aspect.
Yeah, every single metric will have numbers, which is what you're aiming for. So I think the heel is somewhere around kind of low 20s, maybe 22, 23 degrees of heel on the boat, and that's what they'll be targeting. And it's all, and the same kind of rudder angle will have specific heel that you're targeting there. I think it's all incredibly specific. It's kind of like sailing by numbers to a point, but you've got to be able to make still it feel it. So you're given these. Yeah, exactly. Like you can feel everything, and it takes an incredible amount of skill to be able to sail to those numbers. Like just because you're given them, it absolutely does not make it easy. You still have to be able to get to those numbers.
Indeed, and you get a little bit of an insight into the challenge that faces Doug DeVos at this regatta, and indeed other owners who maybe step in and out, like Takashi Akura, step in and out of the circuit from regatta to regatta. In the meantime, Coach James Line, who runs the coaching side and the data side for the 4 quantum-powered boats, is at home this time, unfortunately laid up in Montana. But he's got constant data feeds from the race boat and from the coach boat, and will be measuring the performance of the teams all the time. We'll be giving the virtual briefings and debriefs from home, so that's something slightly different, but great test for the data feeds. But at the moment, American Magic doing quite nicely in 6th, certainly better than the previous race. But credit in the meantime to Alpha Plus. We're probably 2/3 of the way up this beat, and Alpha Plus laying the percentages in the middle of the course. Started to think about what we were talking about, what Katie was saying about before, kind of keeping a loose cover on the fleet, just keeping yourself between the fleet and the next mark. Sled doing a good job.
When you think about upwind tactics and tactics on a beat, you split the upwind into sections. You kind of split it into thirds, and the tactics for the first 2/3 of the beat are completely different to the tactics to the last third. In the last third, it's a lot more fleet management, and it's a lot. You're probably going to be seeing a lot more manoeuvres, which is what you can see from Alpha Plus here, trying to put in a couple more tacks just to really manage the fleet. So they will have shifted from bigger picture upwind gains and like land features and any gain features that there are. They will have shifted from that to now managing the fleet in this last third of the B and trying to find the best route to the Windward mark.
And in that respect, you know, where you're talking about experience, you're talking about Olympic sailors, but guys like Edo Stead have raced here for so many years and been in these exact positions so many times. And in fact, racing against the same groups of tacticians and individuals over the years, you kind of start to know what the different plays will be from different boats, different teams, different afterguards. But at the moment, we're certainly seeing a small uptick in the performance of Alpha Plus since Edo joined in Puerto Portals. And a great partnership with the navigator Ian Moore. See a few of the sailors on board race on the Apfouth's Maxi 72 or Maxi Grand Prix Bellamente.
I think we're going to have a bit of a situation to kind of watch up here. You've got when you've got a line of boats racked up on the port ley line, so you've got Sled, Allegre, Prevezza and Gladiator all pretty much bow to bow. That's going to make it really hard for them to find a position on starboard to tack into. They're going to be kind of trying to thread the needle and try and really merge into that traffic that's on the starboard ley line. So I think that's going to be they're going to be the kind of the boats to watch how they manage this ley line.
I guess the saving grace is Vasco's not here, but in the meantime, Alpha Plus well clear at the top of the fleet. They have breathing space as they come round the top mark for the last time. The team from Hong Kong, Sean and Tina Kang's programme. Then Sled coming round in second. After guard, of course, is Murray Jones, Francesco Bruni, Andrea Vicentini. Next third round will be Allegre. Andy Soriano made good progress in this race. Seventh round the top mark, first time up. Fourth at the leeward gate. They're going well. And Prevezza in fourth. Pretty steady this race. Phoenix in fifth. Gladiator in sixth. Remember, they were 12th to the top mark, so good recovery from them. American Magic in seventh. Eighth, Vitamina, or Alcedo is better known. A little bit of a gap back to Vayu, Aprec, Criolla. Not sure what's going on with the teasing machine there. They seem to have a problem of some description. Certainly seem to be pretty much stopped there. And we value in ninth, 10th is Aprec. So we're on this final run of the day, and the breeze is in. Actually, I want to say the clouds have opened up very slightly, but that may be my imagination, but certainly the portent for some good conditions tomorrow. We're expecting stronger breezes in the afternoon. Word on the dock was we would race early tomorrow, but let's wait and see whether that comes to pass. But in the meantime, Alpha Plus then, second to the top mark. First time up along with American Magic. Remember, it was so close around that top mark, first time up. Great downwind between American Magic challenging Gladiator. Good conditions, almost full planing. A little bit of surfing. Regatta then. As we said, these crew changes made with Ole Parada now as tactician, Santi Lange on board as strategist. Then there we fly over the top of Allegre in third. On song at the moment are the British team. Then Sled, really super confident. Great memories, I say, of 2019 when they won the regatta here. At Alpha Plus then. Big Phil Clapp there, the big British grinder to starboard. As I've said many times before, holds the 500 metre world record on the Concept 2. Craig Monk on the aft grounder. But a great advertisement for the 52 Super Series, considering that Alpha Plus joined us, I think, 2 years ago. It'll be 3 years now, I guess, but they're really up there as one of the consistent contenders. And Casey, great conditions for this final run, aren't there?
Really great conditions. The breeze has definitely got up a bit. You can see the kind of the crews on the boats, the weights stacked towards the back of the boat now, which means they're really starting to get they're really kind of fully powered up. When you see all the crews stacked at the back, that means they're powered. Looking again kind of at the downwind, it looks like Phoenix and Paprec out on that left hand side. I've kind of been keeping half an eye on them, and they've actually, I think they found a bit of breeze out there to start with. They were kind of hitting almost 19 knots, which is almost a knot faster than the rest of the guys out on this side. But I think for Alpha Plus, who were out, Alpha Plus, who was out in the lead, I think they've made the good call to kind of stay out with the rest of the fleet, let the fleet follow them out to that right hand side, and now they've jibed back across. The boats that have gone out to that left hand side, they were slightly further down in the pack, so they weren't as much of a threat to Alpha Plus. But we'll see what breeze Alpha Plus kind of gets into when they're going back across the middle. But yeah, these boats now hitting sort of high 18 knots downwind, slightly almost starting to get into the 19 knots. So that's, they're going pretty quickly right now.
Indeed, I think this Alpha Plus then have about 120 metres or so in hand, giving it all they can down this final run. See breeze now building nicely for this last run. Sled in second. Watching Phoenix then, as Katie said, going fast on the top of our screens just now, getting up to fourth. We're back on board with the South African team as they settled. Tony Norris, their owner-driver. Very accomplished owner-driver indeed. Now we're starting to get the water coming over the bow. This is an indication of how the breeze is. This is 52 Super Series racing at its best, and I think just a little bit of a flavour of what we're going to get tomorrow. We're getting a full Mistral. This is Mistral light so far. The grinders setting up max speed just now. Great conditions. We've not got too far to go in this second race, but Phoenix up to third, taking over Allegra, but there's really nothing much in it. But they coming down from the top of the picture. Allegra probably going to have a slightly better angle in than Phoenix coming from the top of the picture. Allegra probably closer to the finish line, Casey, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think Phoenix has managed to really find something out on that left-hand side. As I said, their numbers were kind of consistently about a knot more out on that side, and I think that's going to put them in a really strong position coming back in. I think watching them versus Allegra, Phoenix has still got a jibe to do, whereas it looks like Allegre. I think they both might have a jibe to do, but it'll be interesting to see how they come together and manage that boat-on-boat scenario. Phoenix does have the right of way as the starboard boat, but they do need to jibe for the finish, so Allegre could end up rolling them, and it's all on down here, I reckon.
And of course, you've always got that little bit of extra frisson with Allegre having parted company with Will Ryan, who's on the Phoenix. Gladiator there seeming to have a little bit of a problem with the kite just coming out of the jibe. Breeze is building up really nicely. Look at the Vayu flying downwind to say we've gone from Mistral light to full Mistral conditions. As we close down to this finish line, we're just watching now as Phoenix come back. Maybe even able to get round the bow of Sled. Maybe, but anyway, that's Alpha Plus closing down the finish line really quickly. There's going to be a race win to the team from Hong Kong, Sean and Tina Kang's Alpha Plus. Third place in Puerto Portals, and laying down a challenge here in Costa Smeralda. So good win for the Alpha Plus team. Coming through in second will be Sled. Then it's going to be really close between Allegre and Phoenix. I think Allegre will just get there by a boat length. But it's great racing. Super close finales. Brevetts are just coming in late for fifth. Good race in the end from Alcedo, but they may be caught by Gladiator on the line. Gladiator coming in with speed. Alcedo just slightly slower. Indeed, it's going to be Gladiator stealing that position on the line. Alcedo just a little bit slowed and losing out on the finish line. American Magic coming through next. So Gladiator, Pip, Alcedo on the line. Sixth, losing to, and Alcedo getting seventh. American Magic get eighth. And a little bit of breathing space. Pat Preck are going to lead this group through. Not quite sure what's going on with Vayu just now. Vayu losing their kite and maybe trying to get it under control. I think they've maybe lost the tack line or something, but they're just going to drift through the line just ahead of Criolla. Pat Preck get ninth. And then a bit of a gap back to Criolla in 10th, Vayu in 11th. And we should see Teasing Machine. I don't know, they certainly had a problem with that Windward mark last time up. But Katie, a great win for Alpha Plus. Sled, super consistent, and Allegre getting away with third, just pipping Phoenix. Holding off Phoenix on that final run. But Katie, another great race, wasn't it?
It really was, and again, kind of the downwinds are almost where all of the action is happening on this course today, and the places are changing so much on the downwinds, and you can go from both the races, kind of Criolla and Gladiator, both rounding in last, to then kind of being back to mid-fleet by the bottom of the runs. There is so much to play for out here, and there's so many gains and losses to be made, and it's super exciting racing.
Fantastic racing. Great credit to the Alpha Plus team coming away with that race win. Food for thought for American Magic though. Round the top mark with a slender lead, almost alongside Alpha Plus. Remember, Alpha Plus came round on the inside, but in the end American Magic coming away with an 8th, so quite a high scoring day for the circuit leaders. Food for thought for them, as there is all the way through the fleet really. Will be interesting to see what happens with the platoon aviation scoring. Conventional logic says they should get redress for not being able to race because of damage. but we will have to wait and see how that plays out. It'll be down to the international jury, and obviously that's not going to feature in our provisional standings. But teasing machine then coming in very, very slowly. Clearly had the technical problem at that top mark. But Katie, what are your other conclusions from the day? Allegra seemed to be consistent, Sled consistent. It's the teams we've seen featuring highly in the early part of regattas so far that are going well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in the conditions that we're seeing today and potentially going to see for the next few days as well, it is all about consistency, and those teams that can be more consistent, I think that's going to be important, because I don't think you can afford to be it's such hard racing out here that I think every single point is going to end up counting. And I think, yeah, those teams that are really consistent, I think as well, kind of a mention to Phoenix. I think they've had a really good day as well, and kind of those teams that are able to kind of turn those bad starts or those bad decisions and kind of claw back points on the leaderboard. I think that's going to be what it's about this week, and it's going to be potentially not about kind of winning all of the races, but it's going to be about averagely low scores. So yeah, those consistent teams that are just chipping away, I think they're going to be the ones to watch this regatta.
Indeed, but we've seen the likes of Allegra doing well in the early parts of regattas and then faded. Correspondingly, you see some teams who are a little bit lower down the rankings in the early part who come good. But I think you're talking about Phoenix. One of the things about Phoenix is I think you can expect them to get better if this is day one for this lineup with Tom Slingsby, with Will Ryan sailing together in the 52 for the first time, and Kyle Langford all together and surrounded by a super strong team. You'd imagine they should only get better, and I'm sure we're going to see some great racing tomorrow. Waiting for Teasing Machine to come down through the line. It's important for them to get the finish, take the point. But it's been a tough day then for Platoon Aviation as well, isn't it? That start line incident has really harmed them. But hopefully they'll be back at full strength tomorrow, Katie.
It's a really tough way to start a regatta, and honestly, I think kind of this season they've had a really tough season with kind of breakages, with incidents, and I think this is just going to be another one to add to that list of what's been quite a tough season for them, I think. But but having kind of coming out and winning that first race and really making their intentions known for this regatta and really kind of making their mark in that first race, I think they can still come away, take a lot of confidence from it, and then, as you say, kind of hopefully get redress. So I don't think there's anything. I don't think they should come away from today with a lack of confidence. I think they should they can come away from today hopefully saying it's sail racing. Sometimes stuff just happens that's not within your control, or that people are you're gonna have crashes, things are gonna happen, but it's just how you move forward from that. And I think, as I said, taking that that win from the first race, I think they can come into tomorrow feeling pretty good about it.
Indeed, I guess the only thing to worry about is these kind of things happening again. But anyway, there we go. Sled leading our provisional standings at the 52 Super Series Porto Cervo by Range Rover Regatta Sailing Week. Call it what you will. Sled leading on 6 points. Phoenix with a third and fourth for 7th. Allegra 6 and 3 for 9. Paprec in 4th for 11. Key thing for them is taking 5 points. Made 2.5 points all on Criolla, but Paprec in 4th. Alpha Plus in 5th just now. Platoon Aviation obviously scoring 14 DNS for race 2, but I think that should go to average points, which will be very, very interesting. But anyway, Platoon Aviation in 6th, Pravetsa 11th and a 5th for them today for 7th. Criolla same points, 16. 16 for Gladiator, 16 for Alcedo Vitamina. American Magic in 11th with an 18-point average for the, or 18-point aggregate for the day. Value on 18, and Teasing a Machine 24 points from 2 races. So that's what we have for you today. We're expecting to go early tomorrow morning in Mistral conditions. So keep an eye on our social media and our updates. We'll keep you updated as soon as we know exactly what the plan is. But thank you so much for joining us today. Join us again tomorrow here in Porto Cervo for the 52 Super Series. Porto Cervo Sailing Week, Range Rover Sailing Week. We'll see you then. Finish, it could not be closer.
It's absolutely insane.
2 seconds between Value and Alpha Plus.
Phenomenal win here.
What a thrilling finish.
3, 2, 1.
Are they going to have enough momentum to just get round? What a mark rounding.
10.52s on this spreader leg is insane.
It's different this